Hello, 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 assholes.
How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to another installment of The Gas Station.
Oh yeah,
Me, JR, obviously.
Alvin.
How you guys doing tonight? We're
We
doing
just thought
good.
we do something weird for the start of the new show. Glow in the dark earrings, because I'm that badass.
Oh yeah, for sure. Alright, so we got a few things to talk to you about tonight.
Hell
I
yeah.
I recently heard a story that I thought was really cool. It's a story about a teacher in Linden, Michigan, who during colonial era day or something or other at their school, they one of the students bought a duels because beer was the common drink in the time period, and the teacher allowed all the students to drink it. Well, apparently some of the teacher or some of the parents are outraged that their kids were allowed to drink near beer at a school event. I guess they found out because some of the kids brought home bottles or what have you. The kids weren't forced to drink it. It was completely optional.
Mm-hmm.
It was the school said that the gentleman, the teacher in question who allowed it, was a very respectable gentleman, and that he was very respected and didn't normally he didn't do it in order to harm the kids in any mean, but still he could be facing misdemeanor
I think
charges.
I think that had like educational by there's 0.05% alcohol. 0.05% alcohol that's in there. That's not even you like you were saying earlier when we were talking about it. Like that's you'd have to drink a keg of it to even
Get drunk
even
anywhere
get
near
drunk at
drunk,
all. Yeah,
right?
anywhere near drunk. It's like I don't feel. I feel it was. I don't think it's that bad. I do get why some parents are outraged. I'm sure if they would have did something where with flyers, they could have, maybe done
Yeah.
something like
Well,
that.
from my understanding in the article, it was actually
Like,
a student who brought it,
mm-hmm.
and the teacher was just like, okay, if you'd like to drink some of it, that's fine. But I get that, like, if your family's really religious and they don't believe in drinking at all, why they could be upset.
But it was completely optional. That's the thing, though. Is like
That it was
they
completely
didn't
optional.
have to drink it.
No, but if the kid wanted to try it, but the parents, from a religious point, were against drinking,
Well,
I can understand them
if you
being
teach your
upset.
kid well enough, like then, like if and whatever,
Valid point,
if you teach your kid well enough, then he'll know not to do that.
for sure. But really, and they're always gonna try and find someone to blame. It's always somebody's fault for stuff like that.
Exactly. I feel that had educational purposes to it. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, we brought in alcohol so that we could get drunk. It's something. Okay, it was like were they dressed up and all that other shit too for it, or like
Right, and maybe some of those kids didn't like it, and they'll remember that they didn't like the taste of beer, and maybe none of them will drink.
exactly.
Maybe.
See?
But there's been a lot of stuff I've been seeing lately as far as like schools with really messed up topics. I was watching something today where a girl had shaved her head or something because
Mm-hmm.
her friend had gotten cancer, and the school was telling her that she couldn't return to school because that was a violation of dress code. What the hell?
That's bullshit to me. Just
We
because she did it to make her friend feel like more comfortable to be like, you know, being a good friend, and I don't know. That's kind of messed up.
I just feel that
I'm gonna pull this table closer because that bar's not really bouncing. It doesn't sound like they're picking up our voice very well. I'm sorry about that, guys.
but I just feel that when you're in school they tell you so much to, be a better person, help the world, do your part, do what you
Mm.
can. Well, she tried to be a good person. She tried to be a helpful friend, and what happened? She got in trouble for it. So the parents had to go to the school board and actually get them to tell the school that yeah, she could go back. Like there's
Mm.
nothing wrong with what she's done. Why was that an issue in the first place?
Ignorance.
Or but from the
That's
same,
the only way to describe ignorance.
but with the whole kids and teachers and school thing, on the school side, they were talking also, I think it was the segment before that one, about these kids who are making how-to videos on YouTube. We're talking, the kids they showed were probably about 7 or 8 years old, how to get your teacher fired. Literally telling kids, hey, you want to get your teacher fired? Well, we went to lunch every single day and went up to the principal and told him that the teacher was harassing us, and just kept telling him that over and over again until our teacher got fired. So, what if that's not true though? What if they just didn't like their teacher? That teacher's job is, and now all these other kids who just don't like their teacher are going to have the right to go around and
nothing right, but they're gonna be like, oh, I don't like my teacher. I'm gonna do this. There's a lot of stupid people in this world. There's a lot of stupid children that are in this world now too, and uh,
I think that's a crazy one though. It's like the whole screaming rape thing. I mean, it's not
it's the boy
to
who
a
called
degree it
wolf.
is. It's
Yeah.
yeah, you know, it's.
So then you can eventually, if it continues to go on, like you never know who's telling the truth and who isn't.
But you know what? At least in the boy who cries wolf, it doesn't hurt the wolf's reputation when something's blamed on him.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's a fucking wolf.
He's a wolf. When it's a teacher, or you know, something
Someone,
like that,
yeah,
somebody in a position of respect or power, it it's a little different, you know, because if it's not true, if there's any of it, it's not true, their teaching career is shattered,
their
their reputation
reputation's
is gone.
gone.
You know, it's really sad to see stuff like that who happens because even if they're found innocent on it, it's going to be hard for them to find a job because there's going to always be those schools that are just like, I don't want the controversy of
Exactly. Well,
your past.
we were the ones who hired like this alleged pedophile teacher or
For
something
sure,
like
right?
that.
Or the teacher who gave booze to kids, you know.
Mm.
No one's going to hire that guy.
You might get into the college professor. You never know.
Oh yeah, around kids who can drink, you know. Apparently, I'm sure he'd be popular.
I don't know. Would that cause a problem if you tried to move to like a higher education field?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I feel that it would be like I guess some places might look at it as unprofessional, but I mean, if he was a really good teacher, he might be able to overcome it.
For sure, like especially if you want to do college, because most of the kids in college are old enough to drink anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about most. Like most kids go to college when they're about
I just
18,
feel that
19 anyways. So,
I don't see anything wrong with it.
but I know you guys are drinking anyways. I'm not stupid.
Yeah,
um,
we know how it is.
know how it is.
Exactly. Like,
Um, Donovan had a pretty cool one to talk about today that I really like. Take you guys back in time a little bit on this one to a really cool topic that's always fun to talk about.
okay, so you're talking the Salem witch trial. I actually heard a report the other day, and it was like it was kind of they were talking about the Salem witch trials and that they have maybe found a reason why people were going mad, and like in the whole why the witch hunt happened and everything. And this happened in the United States, by the way, for any of you who don't know this. But it's the Salem witch trials, and they think that what had happened was that there was a late frost, and a lot of times people would store their like grain and like
Wheat
open
and
yeah
stuff.
wheat and grains and shit like that in open barns, so it would get frost, and when the frost would melt, a fungus called ergot would grow on it, and ergot is like a psychedelic fungus or something like that, and it causes madness. And
Don't leave home without your ergot, guys.
but it causes madness, and they were like when and in those times, if you seen like a woman like or because it would cause insanity, and then people would they would use the wheat and the grain and shit like that, and they'd make bread out of it, and they'd eat it, and fucking like then they would that's why they would go crazy, is like
So much ingestion of it.
the
It just is
ingestion of it, and they're fucking tripping balls, and
uh,
like they're screaming, writhing and writhing. They have no fucking clue what's going on, and like
can we get a
back
late frost here, everybody?
yeah, back then they would have just looked at it as like this person's possessed by the
Right.
devil, like
There's something going on here that we can't explain.
yeah,
It's
kill it,
witchcraft.
kill
Burn it at the stake.
it.
Nowadays, we see somebody writhing and screaming somewhere in the middle of the street. We just naturally assume,
It's like,
hey,
what the fuck? What are they on?
that guy is fucked up right
Yeah, he's
now.
done something crazy.
He's feeling good.
Or
But,
horrible. You never know.
I mean, that just kind of changes your whole outlook on it, that so many women and so many people were slain because,
They just thought they were witches.
and
And it was just a natural thing.
and it could have very well just been a natural
This is all
fungus.
allegedly too, by the way.
Yeah, where
They
was
don't
the
know for a
source
fact.
for this, by the way?
I can look it up for you.
For sure.
This is just what I
We'll find out
heard.
where that source is from, but I mean, whatever truth it does have, it would explain a lot. It would explain a lot of the behavior. It would explain a lot of the stuff that was going on. I think that one was just really cool because as soon as you talk about the Salem witch trials, you always instantly just think of burning at the stake, witches, and naked women dancing around fires in the woods.
And some of them were witches. Some of them did believe in witchcraft and shit like that. Some people do. Like, it's still an actual prominent religion.
But while he looks that up, speaking of religion, a certain somebody has left the world recently, and I can't personally say I'm too sad for it. I can't say that. He was the preacher of the Westboro Baptist Church, the guy who is the guy who's dead. Thank you. This is Patricia, everybody. Patricia, audience. Anyways, he died.
Thank God.
And he's the guy who was basically for people picketing the deaths of the children from the Sandy Hook Elementary shootings.
And protested, like him and his group said that the reason. No, they said it was natural causes. He was just old.
He was just old. No. But he said that the reason this happened is that God allowed, because not God allowed, but because the USA allowed gay marriage, and
yeah, did you hear about that?
Uses a lot of the words like faggot and whatnot like that when he talks, obviously.
Yeah, they were standing outside.
I don't really use
10,
that.
11-year-old like kids' funerals with like God hates fag signs.
So, anyways, and he also does a lot of the picketing against the soldiers' deaths and whatnot, saying that this happened because the U.S. allowed gays and faggots into the army and into the military, period, and that's why these deaths happen. So they stand outside them, and they basically picket them.
Yeah, the Hells Angels actually blockaded the Sandy Hook Elementary school kids' funerals. They wouldn't let them in.
My Uncle Bo married a woman named Kim who had a son, Derek, who was killed overseas. And whenever they were at his funeral, we had to ride past protesters, and they had the Hells Angels on the bikes and everything with the American flags on the back.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really cool to see.
And they were just walking them off.
Yeah, and it wasn't cool to see the protesters by any means.
But it was cool that
the Hells Angels are there. Like, it is a really cool and comforting sight, I'm sure.
Again, you don't have to worry. Well, I mean, yeah, it's still upsetting that there are people there, but like you don't have to worry about anybody getting killed.
Yeah, for sure.
But here's the thing about the bad rye. In the late 1600s, the Puritan settlement of Salem in Massachusetts toppled into chaos when accusations of witchcraft began to appear. Two young girls, aged 9 and 11, were said to have fallen victim to fits beyond power of epileptic fits or natural disease, including screams, strange contortion, and throwing objects. The village doctor, unable to explain the symptoms, suggested that witchcraft may be afoot in Salem. Others in the settlement began to exhibit similar inexplicable behaviors, and shortly the accusations began to fly.
Where is this from?
Damn interesting. But hold on.
Damninteresting.com. Just for reference purposes, that's where we heard this from.
The infamous trials that followed left 19 people hanged to death and scores of others imprisoned under suspicion of supernatural wrongdoing. Is that a law?
I don't know. It probably was back then.
Today, few would suggest that those punished were actually guilty of witchcraft, but the true causes of the irritant behavior in Salem citizens is still a mystery. One theory, perhaps the most interesting yet offered, suggests that the community's rye crop may have been particularly to blame. Moreover, such as maladjusted rye may have played a role in the history's mysterious events.
That's insane.
Because that's what it grows on. It's ergot. Salem and many other communities in the past and present have harvested rye as part of their grain crops, and it was a staple to their diet. But it turns out that ryegrass is susceptible to this particular fungus called Calviceps, I don't even know, which infects the edible portions of the plant. During the ergot stage of this fungus development, a cocktail of interesting alkaloids that are present, which will cause problems with circulation and neurotransmission. When ingested by humans, a woman named Linda Caparel was the first to suggest that ergot of rye may have contributed to the madness in Salem tribes. Ergot poisoning or ergotism can cause a differing array of side effects. Initial symptoms are usually gastrointestinal in nature, which means like your stomach area, including nausea, diarrhea, vomiting. Shortly thereafter, the sufferer may experience a bunch of symptoms caused by ergot's influence on the central nervous system. These usually start with relatively benign sensations such as headaches, pins and needles, and burning, itching sensations on the skin. But the experience can escalate into spasms, convulsions, unconsciousness, hallucinations, and psychosis.
Oh shit.
Yeah, in severe cases, the body tissues experience a physical side effects such as losses of peripheral sensations, swelling, blisters, dry gangrene, and sometimes death.
Intense. That is one hella bad trip, everybody. That is not something that I'm putting on my bucket list.
It's a trip on Ergot.
The trip on Ergot, not doing it. Nope.
Man, right there. How about trip off some Ergot?
Oh my god, I mean, because what, you'd have to take it like a week before you wanted to trip, so it could get into your system and start killing you. And then just slowly get the trip over like
you have
days.
to take a lot of it too.
So
But like
gross.
that's the thing is that like a town with shirts hold like grain production.
That's insane, for sure.
Okay.
But glad this guy died. We should all go to his funeral.
And protest his funeral.
But allegedly there is no
God hates
funeral.
Westboro Baptist Church.
But allegedly there's no church, or there's no funeral, which strikes me as odd that as a pastor there was no.
Because he was a hate monger.
Well, yeah, but he had followers. You figured his followers would have buried him, which they probably did in some cult forest.
They probably
They probably ate him.
No, I don't know if I got that far, but I know that.
I'm just
no, it's in the Bible. You can't do that. There's something in the Bible about cannibalism. You're not allowed to do that. But I heard a joke. It was saying like, what if he was the only one who's right? Like he gets to heaven and he's the only one there. And where's everybody else? Like you're the only one who actually got what I was trying to get across. Like,
right? You got it, buddy.
Yeah.
You get to spend eternity here, alone, forever. He deserves that.
I'm sorry for all the hate and
he deserves to sit.
All the hate mongering and all the like.
He deserves to just be left with no followers, no nothing, just in a. I'd give him a cloud somewhere, just let him sit on it and make him stay there forever, but only as big as his butt could sit on. His legs would have to overhang, and he would just have to stay like that for eternity. Do you know how bad your legs start to hurt whenever they hang over something for hours?
Sounds like some of the fucked up shit that
Connor knows what that feels like. Back on that bed that we had to sleep on, where our legs had hung over the edge. If they hung over there for hours on end when you would sleep, if you do it for days, they start to hurt so fucking bad.
Just like cramps and shit.
Oh, I don't know what it is. It's just from how they're laying. I guess like they're really hanging straight down and you're laying down, so it's like you're sitting, but your back's down. And I don't know, it just starts to really hurt your legs after a while, for sure.
I feel that, yeah. I feel that sometimes when I'm just kind of like when I'm chilling anywhere, like I get up my back, and I get up my legs. I get real tense.
So I've heard of these stories before, and Donovan had heard of one. These girls who are, this one in particular was a med student, who they're selling their virginity online.
It's an auction.
It's an auction type deal, like you bid on it. That's crazy, right? That's intense. Like eBay pussy, you go on there, you place your bid, and you hope that no one tops it.
Yeah, if she's hot, that girl's smart.
It pays out. A lot of people are doing it.
She gets the money. Nice. If she's hot enough, and it's like that money keeps going.
Nice. But that to me, guys, blows my mind. Like, in all honesty, A, why do you want to pay for sex? B, why do you want to pay for a girl's virginity? Really, like.
Some people just like to get the Z card.
I go for it, but like don't go buy it, like it's a piece of fucking meat.
It is a piece of meat.
Technically,
I guess, yeah.
Like
Kind of, yeah, it is.
I guess
It's horror.
it's
It's horish, but like she isn't a whore. She's never had sex, and it's like she's actually like that's kind of. Like, do you know how much money that she could possibly make out of
Oh
that
yeah,
too,
I've
just
seen
for
some
having
of them.
sex one
Like I said,
time?
I've seen these stories before, and they go for a lot. It's kind of like for anybody who's seen Memoirs of a Geisha, whenever the guy's bid on who gets to fuck the girl for the first time, kind of like that basically, except for just without the pleasantries of exchanging like pieces of paper with dollar amounts. It's like some weird sweaty man in a basement just. Girls, why do you want to do this? Like, the trolls that work on the internet, right? Come on. I mean, I swear to you, I'm going to uplink a picture to the most nerdiest, ugly basement dweller I can find to our site, and I'm gonna repost this along with it for everybody to know, just so you women know who that high bidder was. Like, whenever you're looking at those dollar signs, think of that face.
It's only one time though. But like say like $50 to like $60,000. If you're really really hot, like then it's like okay, I'll pay $100,000. Like,
because what if he wants to like do it in his basement in some really awkward way? Like he's paying you $60,000.
Say you'll do it by your own rules.
I guess, but I don't know. Like that's a lot of chance to put on some
Just be like it's my rules, and if you don't do what I say, then you're out.
I think that you're taking a lot of risk in doing that, only because if you have it at your house, what are you gonna do? Have somebody watch it for you? Really?
You could.
And you could. I wouldn't.
Just have a really big friend.
If I had a chick friend who was like, hey, I sold my V card online, and this really creepy dude's probably gonna come over and fuck me tonight, will you like hang out in the room and watch to make sure nothing happens?
Or just be in the house and listen?
I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do any of that because I feel like there's going to be weird animal noise. Okay.
What if she said she'd give you half?
Half? Yep. 30 grand to sit in the house and listen to animal noises all night long? Yeah. I can do that for sure.
That changed your mind real quick.
It sure did. 30,000 to sit there and listen to. Yeah. I do it for 10.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I
do
would.
it for 10?
I do it for 10.
You do it for 10?
10 grand to just sit in
Oh,
the
okay. I
house.
thought you said like $10. I was about to be like, damn, dude. That's a big difference.
First we said half. Like, that's 30 grand. 10 grand. I'd sit on the... I don't know. You start going lower than 10 grand, though, and I start thinking about taxes and shit. The amount of psychology that I'll need afterwards and how much that'll add to it. You throw up in that you'll supply me with a psychologist for like the next 3 years.
It's a lot of weed.
Probably.
She'll still pay you too.
Talk about pain and suffering, suit. Oh god.
Oh, that would suck. I mean, it's sucking.
Oh my god, I gotta. Oh well. But anyway, don't do that. And if you do that, pay somebody to sit in the house and watch and listen out for you, because it's. No, that's not cool. That's not cool, man.
Were you just about to end that a second ago?
No, I wasn't. I was gonna look at something, but then I was like, I don't want to do that right in the middle of the show. I was looking for an internet troll.
Oh, internet troll.
Yeah. So, anything else to interject on that, as far as that goes?
No, I mean that's pretty much it. Gets.
What's your opinion? Should they do it or not do it, or is it just kind of their own prerogative?
My thing is there's nothing you can do. She already is doing it. Like you can't that's her decision.
Offer words of wisdom never hurt though. Maybe a little like.
Yeah, but if she still chooses, that's her
use
choice.
a condom.
She's an adult. Yeah, use a condom. Be safe.
Be smart, just in general. I mean, I personally involve being smart with not having sex for money on the internet. I feel like it's a form of prostitution.
Well, what's wrong with prostitution?
I'm not saying there isn't, or there is or there isn't. Like, that's for everybody's own opinion, whether or not you're okay with prostitution or not. I've never paid for pussy. I don't know what that's like. So, I don't know. I'm completely unobjective to the whole prostitution deal. It's legal in Nevada. So, I just don't get how she gets away with it. It's got to, because it has to be illegal, right? That's a form of prostitution.
Well,
sex
I mean,
for money.
If you, maybe there's a loophole because it's her virginity and not just
But it's still sexual intercourse. That's weird. I don't know.
I
That's
know that
something
if you
I don't get.
videotape it, it's considered porn.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
you can't get arrested for porn if both people are consenting adults.
Nice. So just break out the camera.
So do that. Was it some like big sweaty like muscle looking guy?
What'd you get Fabio each time? Go you, man.
Jam some big Gandalf looking motherfucker.
Champ level. Alright. So, a big topic to talk about today. Jack Daniels is great, everybody. That is for sure. I highly approve of Jack Daniels. We're just talking about all these little kid subjects and alcohol subjects. Well, actually, in that same note, our, our our next subject goes away from small children and comes more towards, say, late high school, early college kids, and the difference really in our generation in that time and say how they were 30 to 50 years ago in that time. And the major cultural difference. What spawned this, everybody, is I saw a picture on Facebook, and it was a before and after picture. The before was Rebels Then, and it showed like 1980s mohawks and leather jackets and all these badass motherfuckers just sitting around chilling, smoking cigarettes and whatnot. And then it said Rebels Now, and it showed a bunch of kids sitting in a classroom doing their homework. Well, there was another picture below that said before, and it showed, you could tell he was a young dude. He was doing like his first job at like a burger joint or whatever, and he was laughing and smiling because he was trying to like flip a burger. And then it said, now, society now. And it was a bunch of these drunk, slutty girls, and they were like, I'm going YOLO and doing duck faces, and they had pretty umbrella drinks in their hands and whatnot.
Going on with those words or whatever, I hate the lingo of children nowadays.
I hate YOLO. If I hear one more motherfucker yell YOLO at me, I'm gonna tackle them and eat their face.
No, this is new one, dude.
I'm going Miami style.
It's like some type of way or something like that. I was working with this kid, and he's just, somebody had said something to him, and he's like, oh my god, this person said this to me. That makes me feel some type of way. And I was like, what? I was like, what type of way does it? He's like, I was like, what type of way? He's like, just some type of way.
No, that's a myth. That's a myth. That's what it is.
We should change that to not a myth.
Okay. Where were we?
I don't know. My train of thought just got to
Oh, damn, Sylvester, come through with that.
Oh, the some type of way thing. Like, that's so stupid. Like, that's retarded.
I don't like that one.
It's just the song. It's from that
Why don't
stupid
you just
song.
say exactly how it makes you feel?
Exactly.
Why are you being vague? Are we not friends? Can we not talk about this right now? Can we not talk about exactly what that gentleman said and how it made you feel?
You can just use it in any situation. Like, your girlfriend breaks up with you. How do you feel, man? Like,
Feel some kind of way. Well, of course you're gonna feel some kind of way, jackass.
Yes,
I'm asking exactly how you feel.
Yeah, you're cool.
You're not gonna go home, grab a gun, and go find her and the guy that's been tapping her behind your back and blow both their brains out, are you? Because if so, we could totally head by the bar and grab a drink first.
And we can talk. A lot.
And maybe we could talk. And maybe we could just go get really drunk and go do it. No, I'm just kidding. And yo, what is it? You only live once. No shit. Do you realize how long people have been? Why is this? Why? Because someone abbreviated it.
Drake.
Is that why? Is that why it's cool now?
Drake.
Because someone took all the letters off and took a great saying and shortened it down to 4 letters for everybody.
Drake.
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 Damn you, Drake.
No, it's stupid. I saw this thing though. It's like, YOLO, you only live once. It's like false. You live every day.
Right.
See? Oh. I liked that one.
I mean, I get the saying and it's great, but it's like
stupid. That's what
it's kind of like every time every time someone's doing something they wouldn't normally do, it has to be followed by YOLO. Like
Squad. That's another one that's really
If you're a person, let me tell you what, 'cause this pisses me off so bad. If you're a person that every time you grab your drink, you go, YOLO, and you take a sip and you put it down, fuck you. If you're the guy that picks it up 5 minutes later and says, YOLO, and drinks, if you do that shit, I hate you so much. I hate you so much. It's so unnecessary. Do it once.
I do it sometimes sarcastically, just, oh, yo, just whatever, YOLO.
For sure, like, I do it to make fun of people who do that. But why are you doing it every time you pick up your drink?
YOLO.
You're defeating the purpose.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, it's got the things popping on. You know what it makes me think, though? It makes me honestly just feel like when people go, you only live once, and I'm just thinking to myself, thank God you're only going to live once, because I don't want to deal with your ass the second time.
That's too perfect.
I don't like that shit at all. Or this texting talk that's been around for a while now. Like,
I'll say LOL all the time.
I say LOL. I'm not gonna. Okay. I just
See?
IOL, LOLs all the time. But like when people are like, "Hey, BRB,"
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I'll be right back.
like, do we have to abbreviate everything?
Easier. People are lazy.
You know, I saw on my cousin's phone. Well, not my cousin's phone. It was a friend of mine. Their brother, sister's phone, wherever it was. They had a text message and it said POS. I was grew up thinking that's what it was. I was incorrect. Apparently that's a parent over shoulder. So the person knows why you can't text inappropriate or naughty things right now, because there's a parent over your shoulder. I'm sorry, but if I was a parent, I would look at that and be like, why are you texting, piece of shit?
Yeah.
Because you either have to own up to it, lie really good on the spot, or tell me.
I was trying to spell position, wasn't paying attention, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. You were just like, oh, that's the new abbreviation for position nowadays. Oh. I hope my kids aren't as intelligent as I was when I was growing up. I
was too, I was smart.
I hope my children grow up.
I hope they grow up, like when I have children, I hope they're smart, but they can still have, like,
I'm just going to whip mine ass a lot. Just, I'm going to tear that ass up. They're going to act like they got some damn sense or else. I don't.
No, see, this is what I'm gonna be the cool dad, but you fuck up, yeah, sorry, you're gonna get punished. Like, I'll be, I have no problem with, like, helping them. I'm not gonna be lazy, sorry, like, I'm gonna help them, guide them in the right direction, but, like,
when working at a gas station, I see so many parents who come in with their kids and just let them act completely unruly and run around grabbing everything, throwing stuff around, making messes that I now have to take the time out of my busy ass day to clean up. Now, who wants to do that? Do you want to do that?
Or when they're screaming and crying, and they're like, come on, like, they're reaching into so much, Jesus Christ.
Like a dog on a leash, some of these parents just, like, have to drag their kids out by their arms.
I'm sorry, if you have a child and you have your child on a leash, that is not a baby, that is a damn dog. That's a dog. You were treating the poor child like a fucking dog.
I know it's so simple, but I love when the parent has the kid on the leash, and when they want him to come in the direction, they tug on it.
Like, come here.
Hey.
Hey, you're going too far. Shit.
I want to put my kid on a retractable
leash. You just stick, like,
leash.
a treat on its nose, and you, like, hold it.
I want to put him on one of those ones, they're like the plastic handle and the dog can run for a while you stand still and you can press the button to stop him.
I'd be like, oh, what have fun.
I'd be like, head on out there and just dig it and fall right back.
That'd be so horrible.
I'm going to make such a great parent. Oh, this is awesome. I'm going to keep my kid on a leash till like 10.
Oh, that poor kid. I'm so glad I'm not your son.
I'll walk him into the office on the leash every day and hand it over to the principal and be like, here you go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And then one day, after doing all this puppy talk to him for so long, I'm just going to look at him on like his 11th birthday and I'm going to be like, what's up, David?
You survived.
You survived. You can live among us now, and I'll let him move out of the doghouse and into the house.
That was your trial period. Don't ask me how you made it through infancy, but that was your trial period.
We had to find out if we needed you or not, or if we wanted you.
She was trained by squirrels how to hunt.
You know, Timmy does great in school, except for when the teacher comes over and tries to pat him on the shoulder or anything, and he suddenly, his hairs stick up and he's nipping at teachers.
He has an obsession with peanut butter.
And every time you do show up at the school about once a week because he's pissing on potted plants at the school. That's a regular problem that you encounter.
God damn it, Timmy.
God damn it, Timmy. But and if I'm not mistaken, people didn't put their kids on leashes 30, 40 years ago, did they?
No.
I mean, you smacked your kid upside the head. You said, "Where the fuck are you going?"
Fucking dumbass.
You know, I don't.
I remember when I was growing up, when we were bad in the house, we were like, "Go outside, goddammit, like go outside."
Go be somewhere, do something.
Get out of here, go.
Oh, but nowadays it's go play your video games.
Yeah, go watch TV. Go play video games. No, not go outside. Like, dude, I fucking love the outdoors. Dude.
Encourage your kids to go outside. Encourage them to pick up a stick.
I know people who don't even know how to make a fire without a lighter.
That seems like a useful thing to know.
That's what I'm saying. I know people who have absolutely no idea how to start a fire. I know people who don't even know how to start a fire with a lighter.
How do you not start a fire with a lighter?
Because their dumbasses are trying to light whole fucking sticks.
Or they're trying to light like green leaves and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I hate seeing people trying to light green leaves.
As a starter, like if you need it in a survival situation, leaves are like one of your best friends because they
well,
go
yeah,
up so
not
quickly.
live leaves.
Yeah, not live leaves, dead ones. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the people who try and light the green leaves or whatever, they're like they grab like a branch off a tree and they're like, "This will burn." Doesn't do it.
It's not catching on fire.
And I'm just like, yeah, because you're dumb. Congratulations.
TP, man. TP.
Fucking A.
That's the easiest way to do it. Do a little TP. Start small, work your way out.
So
and
much
then if you have the luxury, just stuff leaves and the fucking TP shape and everything around it. Like the leaves. Leaves will catch other leaves, which then will catch more leaves one at a time. It's easy, folks. We used a magnifying glass one time to fucking light a cigarette.
I want to get I saw them online the other day. They're full survival kits though. It's got lighters and gauze and bandages and those dried up food meals in them and everything. So if anything happens, you're cool.
I'm trying to remember what they're called. MREs. Meals ready to eat.
Yeah. It's got those there. I just want one because in case I think it'd be cool to have. Some people are like, "Hey, what's that giant bag over there?" I'll be like,
"No, they're MREs."
I'll be like, MREs, bandages.
And I've actually had one before. And
I had one.
Bad. It is not bad.
They're weird. To me, they taste weird.
The one that we had was actually pretty good. It was something crazy too. It was like beef stroganoff or some shit like that. It was actually for dried food. It wasn't bad at all. Had coffee in there, all that shit that you could.
We went to space camp, and whenever we went to space camp, we had what is it? It's like vacuum sealed ice cream, and when you pull it out, it's like these little, like pebble type rocks, but they're all like about yay big around or so, or yay big around sometimes, and you eat it, and your tongue dissolves it, and it's almost like it turns it right back into ice cream. It's just not cold, but it almost turns it right back into ice cream. Like you bite a little bit of it off, and it's just like.
Does it get cold or whatever?
No, but it tastes just like ice cream would. It has a really similar texture and everything.
So it's like freeze-dried ice cream bites?
Yeah, except for they're not like, I shouldn't have said pebbles, they're like chunks.
Yeah, like it'd be like bites, like just like chunks of fucking ice cream.
But the bag is so compressed and so air vacuum sealed that it all is basically one big brick in there. And you would break it off and eat it. They had ice cream sandwiches like that.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was very different, but it was really cool. It's almost like powder.
Did it taste good?
Oh yeah, it tastes just like ice cream would. But the whole point is that you don't have to, like with the MREs, The ones we had are those ones that you can get them to heat up. It has a little bag or whatever. You
that's
pop
what
it
we
up
have
and
too.
it heats it up. Well, these they don't require anything. It's vacuum sealed in there.
It's like a special rock. I can't remember what the rock is, but it reacts to water. And when you put water in there,
Yeah.
like it gets super fucking hot and it cooks your food for you.
Yeah.
It's cool. We made coffee. We made fucking like all kinds of shit, dude.
See, this thing doesn't have that. It just has where you tear it off and you basically start eating it right then. It was really cool. See, and we don't being where we're at in Orlando, we're not that far from the Kennedy Space Center and all that. I'd like to go and just go for a day, and
check the shit out.
that shit is cool. Whenever I went for space camp, it was cool as hell. It was one of the funnest times I've ever had going somewhere. Did you go with your school?
I'm not from Orlando.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
from Florida,
I was about to say we did it when I lived in South Florida, but we went in the 4th grade. You went and you stayed there for like 3 days, 3 days and 2 nights, and they took you on a bunch of the simulators that astronauts used, and you got to stay in these little like in bunk beds with all your friends around all the time, and it was cool. It was for a few days, and we got to build rockets and go to a bunch of movies and stuff like that. And
see, my deal was though is that I went to a small school, so we didn't have all that cool shit. Plus, I live in Ohio. It was lame. Like not lame. It wasn't lame. It was just a different type of fun.
Were you an Amish kid?
No.
Why not?
Because the Amish were in our area.
Should have been an Amish kid.
Hell no.
Hell no.
You know, most of them are incest. Like,
are they really?
Yeah, dude.
That's not surprising.
Their population is dying out.
I love Amish Mafia. I'm not gonna lie.
Sorry. Okay, I get that they're like it's a serious thing. Like they're actually people are disappearing and shit like that when they fuck up in the Amish community. But like, I don't think I would sound. That doesn't sound very like
authentic to come out and talk about it, right?
Not even authentic. It doesn't sound that threatening to me. Like, and like if someone were to just be like, "Oh my God, it's an Amish mafia member," I'd be like, "No way, where?
Let me get a picture.
Let me see this." No, like, oh my God, they do exist. Like,
that's awesome. But
just like, could you imagine just some guy walking out with like big old beard and everything else like that?
Oh my, and trying to intimidate me, I would just be like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah, I'd just kind of laugh a little bit. Like, oh my God, he's so adorable. Look at it.
I would pull out I would be such an asshole. I'd pull out my phone and I would be like,
"This isn't magic.
Technology.
This is not magic.
I hold the devil in my hand. Run!" No. And I chase him down the street with my phone. Probably not during show. But anyways, I do like that show. That show's really cool. Have you ever watched an episode of it?
Mm-hmm.
You never watched any of Amish Mafia?
Mom's watched a little bit of it, and she told me about it. I don't know.
It was better in the first season. It seemed a lot more educational and informative, and now it's just more
drama.
Now it's definitely more about like the views, in my opinion, and whatnot. I don't even know how much of it. They say even in the beginning now that a lot of it is reenactments, but it's still like I don't even know how like authentic I'd even say their story goes. Like they kind of get out there at times. You know what I mean?
Outlandish stuff.
But people up north are so much more crazy compared to.
That's because they spend like 6 months stuck in their houses. They
For
fucking
sure.
go crazy.
I'd be pretty pissed too.
Stuck in your house for 6 months. Yeah, the snow's fun for like a month, and then you're like, God damn it.
I stayed part of a winter in Wisconsin, and oh my God, that was so cold.
No, but to be 100% honest, I love Ohio.
I love the cold. I like the snow.
It just has a beauty to it.
Maybe just as somebody who grew up in Florida, I just love snow. I love being around it.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of snow, but like I said, I love Ohio. It's just like it's a very beautiful, like the natural scenery is absolutely gorgeous. Like there's so much shit like that you don't get down here, just because like down here it's mostly flat. There you have like cave systems, you have giant rock formations, you have fucking all
cool
these
shit.
all these natural parks. Like Florida's just like there's a lot of country to Florida, but it's just flat.
But we have, you figure, beaches, we have stuff like that. We have most of the theme parks too. I mean, when's the last time someone's like, I want to go to Ohio for a theme park?
Exactly. Well, no, Cedar Point.
You got Cedar Point, but when's the last time somebody's like, I want to go to Cedar Point here? Or when's the last time somebody's like,
down here, no. It's like, I'm going to Disney. Like,
but even people up north from Ohio want to come to Disney. Nobody here has ever really heard of Cedar Point, and it's like, oh, we're going on a family vacation to Cedar Point, everybody. And if you did, your kids would probably look at you and be like, I want to go ride the Hogwarts Express at Universal, Dad.
Yeah.
You go to Cedar Point. We're going here.
Well, even Cedar Point they have the most roller coasters in the world.
Do they?
Yeah.
See?
They actually have some fucking legit ones too.
See, I've heard of it before, but I've never.
They have the
been.
Top Thrill Dragster. It goes like 150 miles an hour.
I want to go on that. I love roller coasters.
And seriously, like it shoots you. It goes, and then like
Awesome.
it's literally only like 20 some seconds, but you go so fast. And you go from here, you go from like here, and then you go straight up, and then you come around and you go straight down. And it.
Have you ever been to Busch Gardens? There's a ride there called Shikra, and they take you way up, way up, and then right at the top. I mean, it's so far up that you're up there. It's one of those ones that you like sit in, and you're in like a row with people, and just got the thing over your chest, and they leave you sitting up straight for a while, and you're just overlooking. You can see like the whole park, right? And they drop you forward a little bit at a straight down angle, almost at a 90-degree angle, and you stop you real quick, and you're looking straight down, and you're like, holy hell. And then they let it go, and you just plummet almost at a 90-degree angle, straight down through, and then it takes you through a water ditch and sprays everybody who's standing on the sidewalks of it. Oh, dude, it's insane.
I think I've heard of that before.
If you ever go to Busch Gardens, ride that ride. You will not be disappointed. Do you like roller coasters? Do you like heights? Oh, then you'd love this one. Oh, dude, it'll suck your butt. You won't be able to woo on the way down. The air's moving so fast, and you're going straight down so quick. It'll almost take your breath away to a degree. You've got that sinking feeling in your ass. You know what I'm talking about? But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
How whenever you drop like that, like you get that feeling like your ass is dropping out of your pants, and I like it though.
It's funny.
I do enjoy that. There's it's a theme park there in Valdosta, Georgia, near where my family's at, called Wild Adventures, and they have a roller coaster. It's a wooden roller coaster named Cheetah. So fast, you feel like the bitch is about to break. Every bump and turn, you're more like literally when you're on it. If you try and say or do it, it's so bumpy and shaky. You literally feel like the whole thing's about to
Just fall apart.
just collapse on you, and not something you want to be doing speeding through.
Cedar Point also has one of the oldest wooden roller coasters too.
I love wooden roller coasters. I don't know what it is about them. I think they are completely awesome.
They should make a combined, like they should, some kind of like hybrid wooden / metal, like steel roller coaster. That should be pretty sweet.
That would be cool as hell. They have one that's called at Islands of Adventure that I've been there like 4 times, and it's always either closed down or they just don't have it open at the time. It's called the Boomerang. And when you look at it first, it's like this. It starts like it doesn't start here, but there's one point here. It goes up and does just one big ass loop and comes up here. That's all you see. Starts out in the middle, and there's a seat. It's a long row of cars. A seat facing this way, then one facing this way, then that way, then this way. Back and forth. Well, they send you up slowly to one side, and they shoot you through it real quick, and they hold you, and they shoot you back through that loop real quick again the other way. They have so many people that puke on it twice. I've been in line to go on it, and someone pukes on it either right before or 2 carts before I'm going to go on, and they have to close down the ride. And when they close it out, someone pukes. It's not like a quick affair. You might as well go do something else for a while, which fucking sucks.
Imagine being that guy too. Oh shit!
And know that everybody hates you as you're getting off. Yeah. Because let me tell you what, I've watched it, because I know, I'm doing it, and you can look around and see other people just hate-mongering the shit out of the person who's puking. They're just like...
Just giving them that evil eye, just sitting there, like, wishing death upon that person.
Because it's such a, like, I know my cousins got to ride it, I think my sister said she rode it, but I've never gotten to ride it, and I really want to. It pisses me off.
See, I was never able to ride the,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I've never actually got to ride the Top Thrill Dragster, because every time I would go to ride it, like, something would happen, like, one guy fucking, got sick or had a heart attack or some shit like that. Like, I think he was old, someone said that he had a heart attack on the ride and shit. And, like, they had to close it down for that, like, the whole day, because the guy had that, and then the second time, just, like, we were right there, and they had to close it down because the wind was blowing too hard. Yeah, dude, it's that tall that it, like, And then there's another ride too. They built it in 2000, and it's called the Millennium Force. And at the top hill, you can look across Lake Erie because it's like right on Lake Erie. You can look across Lake Erie and you can see Canada.
Nice. That's cool as hell.
Oh yeah, it's real sweet.
I like to go on that. That would be cool.
I was talking like I was the first time I was on it, and someone's like, "Look, it's Canada," and I look over, it's like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Hi Canada!" Like I waved and shit.
That's awesome.
Hello Canada.
I want to go to a theme park so bad. I've never been to Islands of Adventure. We live not too far from it. I want to go so incredibly bad. You want to go? Why don't you totally go to Islands of Adventure? Oh, speaking of which, I gotta call my boss. I'm supposed to have a guest ticket to Islands of Adventure, and it's supposed to be stuck in the safe. I need to ask him about that. I want my ticket. Damn. I want to go, everybody. I want to go see Harry Potter and magical shit. Who doesn't like magical shit, you know? So, anything else you want to talk about?
Man, we can keep going if you want.
Yeah, I mean, we got. Oh, on video news. Do a little video news here. We were looking up some great, just classic YouTube films that we personally enjoy. If you've never seen it, go onto YouTube and type in Amazing Racist. Not a racist show, everybody knows, but it's just a very funny and very fucked up video. Donovan had never seen this at first. I didn't know if he was gonna laugh or be offended when he saw it because his facial expression was great. It truly was. This guy goes around and he picks up Mexicans and tells them that he wants them to fix his deck for him, and he takes them over speed bumps and he takes them to some other places. But I'll leave that as a surprise. Just go in and look for the amazing the amazing racist dash Mexicans.
So was that Ari Shafir or no?
I think so.
Jesus Christ, man, that's a touchy subject, but that's funny though.
That's cool, though, right?
I thought it was kind of funny. It's fucked up, but it's funny.
It's funny as
You
hell.
have to have that sense of humor though.
Yeah, if you don't
I
have
wonder
if
if
you
it's
can't
actually
laugh at
staged.
racist jokes,
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't think it is.
It might have been. You never know.
Because I could show you some of the other stuff he's done. Like he put on a KKK costume and goes walking around. Like he goes to a black dry cleaners and goes in there and tries to get his KKK uniform washed. And they're like chucking it at him and then telling him to get the fuck out before they bust him up. He goes to the gas stations dressed up in it and asks them if they could spare a little bit of gas. Like he has a gas. He's like, can you spare a little bit of gas from me? I'm trying to get to a meeting right now. And they're like, what the fuck? No. It's great. So check that out for sure. I thought that was hilarious. If you've never seen celebrities read mean tweets about themselves on Jimmy Kimmel, have you ever seen this?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. After the show, guys,
I'm gonna look some of them up right now.
look these up. They have the best. They have one with Christina Applegate. For those of you who know what she is, Jimmy Kimmel does this. Just to let you all know, he does this thing called celebrities read mean tweets about themselves. He's done like 6 or 7 now, and basically he gets a hold of celebrities. And every time you tweet something about a celebrity, if it has their name in it, they get notified via their account. Regardless if you're friends with them, not, like them, whatever, they're notified. So we as, citizens write a lot of mean shit. A lot of internet trolls out there. Well, they had one for Christina Applegate. Well, they have them read it so that way you can see their reactions as they're reading hurtful things that we write about them. Well, Christina Applegate.
I don't use Twitter.
I don't either. I don't tweet or any of that turd shit. Bird shit is what I meant to say.
Turd shit.
Turd shit. And she's looking at the phone and she's like, Christina Applegate, you looked better in something she was wearing. And she's like, what's up with the Spanx, you old bitch, or something like that. And she was Christy Alley. You know who that is? The lady from Weight Watchers?
Oh, yeah.
They have her on there, and she looks at it, and she looks up at the camera, and she's like, Christy Alley is an old, stupid, fat slut. There. I said it. And she's just glaring at the camera. I wish I could find the one with the guy who plays Heisenberg and in Malcolm in the Middle, because the one person writes to him and he reads it, he's like, Malcolm in the Middle, more like Pudgy in the middle, lose some weight, Heisenberg. And he starts laughing, he's like, I'm gonna find you, T.H. Grizz. And he just stares at the camera. 2 is a good one. Oh wait, there's that one. Do 3, because that's him at the end.
I'm gonna start with 1. I have my buddy turned up and everything. Let's start with 1.
There's another segment he does where it's he tells his viewers the night of Halloween to take all their kids' Halloween candy and tell them that they ate it all and hide it but don't really eat it all. And you should see some of these kids' reactions. The parents are like, "We're sorry, but we ate all your candy," and they're like, "I hate you!" And they just start screaming and yelling and crying because their parents ate their candy. It's really fucked up and demented parenting, but it's great and it's awesome.
Those are the good parents, though. Those are the good parents.
Those are the great parents.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'd be such a horrible person if my parents hadn't fucked and tormented with me growing up. But any videos you can talk about? Any videos there?
I'm trying to get this one to play. One I would like to talk about. It's just a video. It's a music video. But the art on this music video is really, really awesome. It's called The Music Scene by Boxhead. And it's just got some like really, I don't know, I like trippy artwork. It's just, it looks cool to me. And like, whoever did this music video for this song, it is like awesome. It's awesome. And it's really cool. And it's just like, it's definitely trippy. And it's just awesome. It's really cool. The Music Scene.
Music Scene. I'll check that one out.
Blackhead, The Music Scene.
In other news, I don't have any other news to really talk about today. We might have a guest coming on our show here shortly that we're pretty excited about. Would like to, hopefully that comes through. We got a couple other guests that we're hoping to bring on here soon and talk to for you guys. Next show, I got some pretty cool stuff that's working in the head up here. I got some really cool topics. I think something that we'll have a lot of fun with and something that will interest a lot of people. Something that will be a good talking point, a good perspective subject. I guess it'd be a good thing to college. There's no round, no right, no wrong answer. Maybe a couple stupid responses depending on how intelligent you really are.
Always remember, just leave a like and also subscribe.
Definitely.
That helps us out. And just you can also comment too, give us suggestions. Just kind of, you know,
Always need suggestions. Always.
help us, help you.
Help us, help you.
Yeah. That's pretty much.
And so on and so forth.
Exactly. Because
and we can
we
all
want to
help
make
the
a show
world.
that you guys like, that anybody can like, anybody can listen to, and you know, at least we have something interesting, like something that would interest them.
And we can't get better without you guys.
Exactly.
Definitely can't. So, if you're watching one of our first episodes, like shortly after it's posted, thank you. You're one of the few, and you're great, and we appreciate it.
We have some good support from a couple friends of mine.
Yes.
We just gotta get the word out and everything.
Getting there. Otherwise, guys, y'all have a great night. Enjoy yourselves. We will see you next time.
Have a good one.